How will a foreclosure judgment affect your credit score? I'm Florida foreclosure attorney Michael Wasylik, and today I'm in Newport Richey, standing outside the Newport Richey West Pasco County Courthouse. And I was here for some pretrial hearings and wanted to touch on the question of your credit score after a foreclosure or in the expectation of foreclosure, because one of the most common questions I get from people who are in foreclosure is, what's that going to do to my credit? What's it going to do to my credit? Won't a short sale be better? Won't a deed in lieu be better? What's the best way to escape from this without damaging my credit? And the answer to that is it may not be what you expect, and here's why. The damage that's done to your credit score is done when you first stop making payments, or when you first miss a payment, or when that first payment is late. Because the credit score takes into account, one of the most important factors is how many months behind are you on any particular payment? Are you making your payments on time or not? Are you missing your payments entirely? That is a huge chunk of your credit score. So at the very first time you start falling behind on your mortgage payments, that's when your credit score will start to fall. Once you're 30, 60, 90, 120 days behind, that's when most of the damage actually occurs. Now, because a foreclosure case in most Florida courts will take at least a year, sometimes many more. Certainly I have cases that have resolved in a year or less. I have many cases that have taken 2, 3, 4 or longer years. And I still have a handful of cases that are older than 7 years. Because they last a long time, the damage is done at the time you're originally missing the payments, and it actually lessens over time. Excuse me. And in fact, once you hit the 7-year mark, it's supposed to roll off your credit entirely. Now, what many of my clients find is that if their foreclosure case dragged on for a little bit, if the bank lost the first round and had to refile, or if the bank waited for a while before they first filed the foreclosure, or whatever, if the first missed payment was more than 7 years ago, a lot of my clients are finding when they pull their credit report that it's not even there anymore. And so when it comes time to talk about how to solve the foreclosure problem, can we reach some kind of settlement agreement? Can we get a loan mod? Can we agree to surrender the house? Can we do this? Can we do that? The number one question, or one important question I always get, is what is that particular settlement going to do to my credit score? And the answer usually is, once it rolls off, there's very few things that are going to make it reappear. There's very few things. Now, certainly it is possible that a final judgment of foreclosure could appear on your credit score. That's less likely now than it used to be because of certain tweaks, the way the credit reporting agencies are changing the way they report things. They're changing the way they pull information from the courthouse and whatnot. So that's less likely than it used to be. But the answer is, as long as you're doing something, taking responsibility and resolving the case in some way. You give up something, whether it's you agree to take on an additional loan obligation by getting a modification, renewing that commitment to make the payments, whether it's agreeing to surrender the house, or in some way accounting for the fact that there's been a lapse in payment. As long as you're doing that, the final agreement, the solution at the end of the foreclosure problem, isn't going to have as big an effect on your credit score as you may be afraid of. It's that first time you miss a payment, that's the real doozy. That's going to cause your credit score to drop 50, 100, maybe even 200 points. Some people have reported even more, depending on how good their credit was before. So if you're worried about your credit score, the answer is figure out a way to catch up on those payments when they first start getting late. Catch up as soon as possible, and that will minimize the damage to your credit score. Once you've been behind for several months, the damage is mostly done, and the only thing that's going to fix it is time. Time will let that roll off your credit report eventually. Again, most cases 7 years and they're gone. And however you solve it at the end, if there's a settlement, if you go to trial and win, if you go to trial and lose, if you give up the house, if you keep the house with a modification, whatever happens, no matter how you address the problem at the end, it's not going to be nearly as bad as the damage that was done when those first missed payments were being reported. So keep that in mind when you're looking to figure out a way to get through a foreclosure, get a way out of foreclosure. A lot of times the solutions we can help you find are going to be better for your credit than if you just ignore the problem, bury your head in the sand, and just let it fester like an infected wound. You can't do that. You've got to step up, you've got to take responsibility, and you want to get professional help. You want to make sure that you have somebody who's done this before, who knows the relative pitfalls, and can help you find a solution that meets your needs. Again, whether it's a surrender of the property, whether it's a loan modification, whether it's fight like hell and see if you can prove your case. Whatever those options are, you want to make sure that whatever your goal is, you get professional help to help you get there, and that includes trying to protect your credit from the effects of a missed mortgage payment, from the effects of a foreclosure. So I'm Florida foreclosure attorney Michael Wasylik. My firm is Ricardo and Wasylik. We're based out of Pasco County, but we do handle cases all over the state of Florida. And so if you are in foreclosure, you think a foreclosure is imminent, you're worried about your credit score, give us a call. Our number is 352-567-3173. That's 352-567-3173. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been informative. If you have a question, give us a call. Have a great day.